Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to be making a birthday card. This is something a little bit different for my channel. If you would have seen my video from a couple of days ago, you will see that I did a colouring tutorial and I coloured in this gorgeous Coco Wyo free printable from their website, and I added some bubbles, some wood grain effect, some tiles to the walls. It was super fun to do. And I see so many gorgeous colouring pictures online for them to just sit in a book, and I thought this would make such a cute little card. So I used the Canva app and I added the happy birthday sentiment, and I'm going to add this to a card. So I've got a square card here. I've picked some paper to go with it. So I've got this beige one with pink dots. It matches my image well. And I've got this lovely bright pink card for backing to add as like a frame, and it matches my backing paper and my colouring image. So I dug out some of my old card making stuff. I've got this double-sided tape, a craft knife, my ruler. Now mine is plastic, but ideally you would have a metal one. And I've got this craft decorative edging punch, and I've got these sticky dots to add a 3D effect. I will try to link everything that I use in the description below. So first of all, we are going to add a frame to our little coloured image. So taking the pink card and my double-sided sticky tape, I'm going to stick this tape as close to the edge as possible, all the way around the back of this image. And then once that's stuck all the way around, you need to remove the backing protection so it reveals the sticky back. And then we're going to line it up on this pink card. I line it up towards the top left corner. So when we cut it, we only have to cut two sides. So this is where we need our ruler, and this is why I said earlier a metal one preferably, because using these sharp craft knives you can sort of take a slither out of your lovely plastic ruler, so do try to use a metal one if possible with the craft knife. But I couldn't find mine, so we're making do with plastic today. So I'm just cutting across the bottom now, about 3mm away from the sentiment, and then I'm going to cut a line under the sentiment. And then I will finish cutting the rest off with my craft scissors. So grabbing my Fiskars razor edge, these are actually fabric scissors but they're so good. I'm just going to finish off cutting around that image, so rounding it off. So I'm basically leaving around a 3mm frame all the way around my coloured image, and that just really makes that stand out. So there it is, all framed and ready. I'm just going to lay that aside now, and then bringing in my patterned paper, which is the beige with the pink spots, I'm going to measure out where I want to cut this. So I'm going to make like a little border across the bottom. So I'm just using a pencil to mark out how big I want it. So looking at the side, the distance, marking it out on both sides, ready to cut. I'm using my cutting mat, the grid on it, to lay this down, making sure it's square, and that way you can then lay your ruler across along the pencil mark that I made, and I can make sure using my mat that my ruler is straight, so I know when I now cut this line it will be nice and square and in line. And then turn it around the same again, make sure it's in line with the grid on my cutting mat so it's nice and square, placing the ruler on my pencil mark, and then again judging by eye that my ruler is in line with judging by the grid on my mat, and then again I can then cut that nice straight line. So I've got this nice wide sort of trim ready to go on my card. So to use the scallop decorative border punch, first of all you have to slot the card inside. You can see the pattern on the bottom, but slot the card in till it touches that lip, so you know you've got it in there flush. Use the pattern on the bottom to mark out where you want it to start. So I've got a full scallop here, so I'm just lining it up. And then just simply press down the handle, and just like that it punches through the card. Using the pattern on the bottom as a guide again, I'm just going to slide it across, make sure it's just inside the punch, and then I'm lining the little holes up with the pattern on the bottom, so I know when I next punch it will leave a nice seamless join. So just punch again, and as you can see it's lovely and seamless. I'm going to go through again, so just making sure it's just inside the hole punch where the last scallop is, making sure it's pushed in far enough, and there you have your seamless trim. I'm just making sure it's long enough. I do need to punch that last edge, so I'm just going to turn it around and line it up and just take that last bit out so it fits across my pattern paper. It is a little bit messy, so just get rid of all those little offcuts and then we can carry on. So bringing my pattern paper in again and my double-sided tape, I'm going to stick the double-sided tape as close to the edge as possible all the way around the back of that patterned paper. So moving on, I'm just now peeling off the sticky backing to reveal the sticky adhesive side. And we are going to line this up now with that lovely scallop across the bottom, and again leaving a 3mm border along that left side. And then using our craft knife and our ruler, we are going to trim the rest of this border around the patterned paper. Again, I'm using my cutting mat as a guide to make sure I get this all nice and straight. And now we're ready to stick these onto the card. So again, I'm using my double-sided sticky tape on the back of that scalloped sort of patterned border that I just made, and I've used sticky 3D dots on the back of my coloured image. So I'm just going to peel off all of this backing to reveal the adhesive, and then we're going to line it up onto the card. So I'm just popping my image on there, not sticking it down, I'm just laying it on there so I can see where I want my little border to sit. So I want it to sit about here. So I'm just laying it on there lightly to make sure it's in line before I press all of those edges down. And now I'm going to take the backing off these double-sided sticky dots. So these sticky dots are about 1mm, 1.5mm thick. They're like foam padded. So when you stick this on the card, it gives it sort of a 3D look. It sort of stands out from the card. So again, I'm just lining it up. And then I decided last minute to stick it off centre. So as you can see, I'm just sticking it in that corner, making sure it's even before I stick it all down. You'll see why I've stuck it off centre in a moment. I've got these lovely pearls. I've decided to stick these on this corner. So I'm going for 2 smaller ones and a larger one. So it goes smaller to larger, sort of tapering down the side there. So next, the larger one at the bottom. These are already sticky, these little pearls. Again, I will try to link everything I use in the description. And then if you watched my colouring tutorial, you will see I did these gorgeous bubbles on my picture, and I decided to put some bubbles on this side. So using a pale blue alcohol marker, I'm creating the left and bottom side of the bubble. And then taking a lilac, I'm creating the bottom and right side of the bubble. And then taking a pale lemon colour, I'm going to create the top and the middle of the bubble, just going all over it to blend. And then I've got a Claire blender pen, which I'm going to go over the whole of the bubble just to tie all of those colours together and make them look like a transparent bubble. And then taking my white gel pen, now that ink has had a chance to dry, I just had a go at drawing some little bubbles in between, but you can't really see them on this video, but they are there. And then I'm going to draw a line and a dot on one corner just to give a reflective look. And then I'm going to go around the whole of the outside of the bubble with this white highlighter pen or gel pen. It just really finishes these bubbles off and makes them look like a little transparent floating bubble. So cute. And there is the finished card. So now we have got our coloured image, and instead of it just sitting in a colouring book, we can gift it to someone. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and press the bell button to turn on notifications, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!